I'd like to call to order the committee meeting for July 27th, 2022 at 10:02. Approval of the agenda. Is there anybody got anything they wanted to add? Because it's only like 3 things on there.
Maybe just add, because the next council meeting is canceled. Just a discussion if we want to have the EDC meeting on August 10th, and I recommend we do, but if we want to add that as an item for discussion, then.
Okay, so we're going to add as a late item discussion about the next PDC meeting. So recommendation that the Planning and Development Committee meeting agenda for July 27th be approved as amended. Yeehaw, Deb's still sleeping. We're all good to go. Thanks. Adoption of.
Yeah, can I just ask Scott, were we supposed to have Shane stamp or is he all okay now?
He's okay now.
Okay, that's good.
We already did that.
Thanks.
So adoption of the minutes, approval of the minutes, recommendation that the minutes of the Planning and Development Committee meeting held on June 22nd, 2022 be adopted. All in favor?
Yeah.
Carried. Gord, your flashlight's on.
Thanks.
Can you hear us, Deb?
Yep.
Okay, good. Thanks for your comments. Okay, number 4, development services update application, Scott. Or you passed it off.
Yeah, no, here's the application update. The ones in bold are the ones we're talking about today. Some of the other ones are moving them along. Any questions, we can try to answer them. 1005 Riverside, PDC considered that at the last meeting. And they are probably going to make some revisions, and we'll look to hear back from them soon. They have that subdivision process too. So yes, stuff's moving along.
Good. I see by your next page that you have getting pretty good at the completed side issue. Looking good. So are we still on the 3 weeks from application to?
Yeah, depending on if we get everything. We've had a little bit of a slowdown on building permits just because the building official was away for a week. But we had a new building official start on Monday. So David Kennedy started on Monday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, he's going to shadow Dale for a couple of weeks. And then also working on the maintenance of the building. So he'll be available to Jason for maintenance of the building. So excited to get up and running on that. So we should only improve our efficiency with someone in-house.
Good. Gord, go ahead.
Yeah, through the chair. Scott, any updates on Chad at Old Town Bay or Grayson at Tumal?
No, had a meeting last week with Gary and getting closer to his big subdivision application, and then the other projects should come along. Grayson has his subdivision application in. We're still waiting to hear back from Ministry of Transportation, but yeah, moving along for sure.
Okay, I think he's coming this week. I think he's coming to town.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, good. Anything else? All right, new business. 22-214-DVP number 18-1705 Hiller Road. This one's been here a few times. Who's taking the lead on this?
I can take a lead on this one. So yeah, the Planning and Development Committee considered this at the last meeting, and they recommended that it not proceed with the deck, only the shed. And so council did issue the permit for just the shed and not the deck. I guess it's coming back for reconsideration, considering that it's only a fire lane. However, the Fire chief still, we referred it back to him and maybe I'll just read the fire chief's comments. It was in the report that deck looks like it's covered, which creates an overhang for the deck. The deck may require a 3.49 variance, but the overhang would further extend with even lesser setback. This is concerned with the deck pushing closer to the fire lane as it creates a narrow space for a fire truck to pass through. Yeah, so we still consider this the exterior side property line, and although it's a fire lane, it'll probably be used as a regular travel lane for most people in the development. And then, yeah, there's the concern for fire trucks coming through. When we did talk to the owner, or we talked to the agent for the owner, the reason they wanted to keep it where it was because the services were already there and they didn't want to have to move the unit. But they do have the option to reduce the deck by 50 centimeters. They still have that option. So yeah, staff does have a recommendation that it be issued, but we certainly have some pretty significant reservations. Just being with that it is an exterior line and that fire equipment will need to pass. And I think in the original application, we didn't realize it was a covered deck. So I think the concerns from the fire chief are definitely warranted.
Comments?
It looks like, sorry, my voice is a little funky here. It does look like that's a fairly significant overhang on the deck too, like that isn't really necessary.
So I guess my question would be, is the variance they're asking for to the base of the deck? Because it's not shown on this drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it to the roof line? The roof line showing 10 feet. And I think that's what their deck is.
Right, it's 6.1 meters, so that would be the 10-foot range.
So, I mean, I don't have a problem.
3.05 meters would be the 10-foot range. Yeah.
So the way it's drawn and on their map, they're supposed to be not very clear here. The property line.
It's supposed to be 4 meters from the property line. Because they do have that variant, because although the permit says from 6 meters to 3.49 meters, they do have a variance to 4 meters originally. So really 50 centimeters is the variance they're asking for, is to go from, I guess figuratively it's 4 meters to 3.49 meters. Technically it's 6 meters to 3.49 meters.
So the 11.7 meters in the middle of the drawing, what is that? Is that from the property line to the imaginary edge, or is that from the property line to the imaginary property line?
So the 11.73.
7.3.
Where's that?
Well, it's in the middle of the thing showing the deck. I guess I don't have an issue with it, that the deck is gonna be 10 feet by 30.
Sorry, that's the length. 11.37 is the length.
And I saw the building permit application or something for this, and half of the deck is covered and half is open.
Well, just a minute. So they're drawing it, they submitted with this is not,
This overhang, the covered overhang, this is for half of the deck.
so the deck is 20 feet wide?
No, let me see.
So the deck is 11 point I think it's 6.6 meters. I thought was the length of the deck, and half of it is covered. The other half is, so only half the deck is covered. Probably over the door is covered, and then the rest is open.
Okay, so they're on their yellow draw, they have a 10-foot wide by 34.5 deck. So there's no measurements add up to That must be the 11.3.
You're right.
And I don't have an issue with the variance that they're asking for, as long as that 10 foot is the maximum from the side of the house to the edge of the roof, the edge of the deck, whatever it is, doesn't matter.
So. So that's the plan that they said, like half of it with no roof and the half with no roof.
Okay, so it's not half over the width, it's half over the length.
And yeah,
And what do they have on that drawing? Where is that drawing part of these drawings?
it was not part of the DVP application. This was part of the building permit application. So I just took the drawings from the file.
So what do they have for the outside edge to the roof? 10 feet then?
It's 20 feet by 10 feet, yeah.
Yeah, looks like 10
So
feet.
there's no part of it that's wider than 10 feet.
No.
Okay. As long as the permit's issued for the variance, there's no partition on that deck, roof or otherwise for the 10 feet, then
I agree.
yeah. Stephanie, can you tell me how much?
Yep, no, I agree.
So there's still 3 meters from the property line then?
3.49.
The plan says 3 meter
3.49?
from the property line, yeah.
Okay, so there's no point, would it be more than 3.49 meters? Agree?
Agreed.
Okay, so then, is there a recommendation that the Planning and Development Committee recommend the District of Sicamous issue a development variance permit number 22-214-DVP to vary the Sicamous zoning bylaw number 101, 1993, section 603. 4.8. Yeah, 4.8, interior setbacks for accessory buildings from 6 to 3.49 meters for a deck. All in favor? You good to go? Yeah, okay, carry. All right, number 70, Old Town Road, 22-216-DVP. Scott, Sarah, who's got this?
I have this one. So this is an application for a variance to vary the side setback from 2 meters to 1.09 meters for a single family dwelling. Out on Old Town Road, you can see the drawing showing the subdivision. So it's lot 70 in the middle. There we go. The OCD destination is residential low density. And the zoning is country residential. And so the setbacks in the country residential zone are 5 meters with no dimension less than 2 meters. So, and the house, as you can see, is this is the drawing that was provided after the foundation was constructed. And it shows that it's 1.69 from the property line. And then if you add the eaves into that, there's 60 centimeters. So it brings the eve to 1.09 from the side property line. And the 60 centimeters, the eve is typically accepted as being within the setback. But yeah, it's the foundation that makes it too close. And so you can see the drawing. We did refer this out to it was actually caught by the building official during the building permit stage. There is going to be a challenge with this. If council issues the variance, then they would be able to, they would be varied from the setback. But there is a larger building code issue. Building code says you have to be 1.5 meters from the property line for the face of a building. We kind of had a little bit of a similar issue in the past. And the building wall has to be constructed, the building code be fire rated, can't be any openings, the materials have to be non-combustible materials. So it becomes a construction cost issue for the builder. And I don't know if they'll be able to achieve that, within a reasonable cost. Another option could be a property line adjustment where they'd have to move the property line. Which there might be enough room to move the property line or give and take. The minimum parcel size is 1 acre. Both parcels are a little bit over 1 acre. They might have some room to adjust that. A third option could be the variance and then a restrictive covenant along neighbor's property saying that there'll be no construction within that, and that may meet building code, but it's going to be a tricky one. So this is a good first step to determine if this is the route they want to go. However, building code may require them to adjust the property line or come up with another solution.
I just have a question. So you're asking for 1.69, but that's just that little short jut there.
Or maybe
What is the measurement on the rest of it?
So I'd say you'd add 1.22 and 1.69. So you'd be, what that be?
You'd be 3, almost 4.
Wait, 2.91.
So they would meet it on that part. So how much of a hardship is it to put in the fire rated wall for that 4 meters?
metal clad.
Have a window in that side someplace?
Metal corrugated siding. That's it.
So what's the window for?
It's for a bedroom.
Wow.
Can you put it on the backside?
Excuse me?
Put the window on the backside?
There's a sliding screen or sliding door, full glass on the back end of the home as well. That's the bedroom. And then a window facing the neighbor's side of his acreage. In that bedroom as well, and that is it. But everything is corrugated metal. I spoke to the neighbors many times, and they have stated that they are not having no intent to build their home anywhere near that section of the property. Their road comes in and actually lines across it, and the lot where they intend to build on the other end of their acreage. So they're more than happy to provide any comment or statement saying that they're not no intent to build on that side, and that it's not a concern of theirs.
So sorry, but like if you didn't have that window there and it meets fire approval, then it's allowed, right?
No, so this is the variance for the setback. So if this goes forward, they still have to meet BC building code. So
Which is 1.5
we
meters.
could vary it, but even though council could vary the setback, building code they'd still have to meet building code. So
What's the minimum building code say?
1.5 meters.
So was this oops,
Maybe lost a lot of sleep over this. A registered social worker, I'm to the book kind of guy, and to find out about this at the end is pretty upsetting to me. That's why I'm here today to advocate for myself and my family.
so was it that surveyor, the builder?
The survey lines were put in, and it was also snowing at the time during construction, like during winter, and it was just a simple miss by the builder, and very upsetting and disappointing. Now it was placed on me, and I'm trying to do whatever I can. Give my family home.
Good.
Yeah, I think, there's no reason why we should turn it down the setback. As long as you can meet building code, it should be fine. And,
Yeah, but the building code supersedes what we're gonna say.
yeah, and there's no reason, it's tough for him to meet code for for fire and that, but he'll have to do that because there's nothing we can do to bury that. But there's no, if he got rid of his window and built that wall with you know, metal cladding or whatever it might be, he might make code pretty easy.
So what was the other option, the covenant on the property next door stating that they would be within how close? They would have to be, what's the distance between?
It's 3 meters between buildings. So the idea is you have 1.5
On each side.
property, and then you have 3 meters to meet code. So they would have to have a strip on their property saying they're not going to build within 1.5 or 1.41.
Within 2 meters, which is what the rule says now, 2 meters on one side, 3 on the other, combination 5. Or no, this is large, so these are 5 on both sides,
No, it's minimum of no less than 2.
no less than 2. So the same for all.
So and
So if they were 2, they're gonna meet this.
but I think the theory is you can't really control it's more difficult to control what's going to happen in the future on the next lot, like.
But his driveway does come up that side, so I mean. You wouldn't build something over there, because it comes up and it turns this way to get in.
It's the only road into access.
It's the only road to access, like his garage or whatever.
In all likelihood, yes, but, you know, these are flat city lots. That's kind of what you look at when you're looking at building code, right? And you can't really control what people are going to do necessarily. That's why I think, you know, having a good relationship with your neighbor, having him on board, you know, coming up with a solution, you know, that might all not be necessary if you can meet code just through the construction of the wall, right? So, yeah, there's.
So to save yourself a bunch of aggravation, it's probably best if you fill that window in and clad the whole side with the metal siding. At least you're,
So I get a solution, just cover that in and keep the.
get rid of the window and close it right in, just for that section, that 4 meters.
That puts this all to rest, I'd be happy to do it.
Well, I'm not sure that it's gonna put it to rest because it still doesn't meet the building code according to. And it was, I have a personal question. So was the neighbor that's on the other side at your birthday party?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's a good guy.
So, and it may not be as simple as filling in the window, like, and that's why I think we need to we need to sit down with the building official and come up with a solution, which we can do. It could be, you know, you look at the entire wall assembly, not just the opening, like, you know. But I think there's probably a solution, but, you know, we'll have to figure it out. I think this is a good first step, and then we can address the building issues. Yeah.
So I'm gonna recommend that the staff work with the building inspector. And I'm sorry, your name?
My name is Ethan Stokel.
Ethan. Ethan to come up with a resolution, or then whatever you guys agree to. We know that the fire chief won't be happy about it when lose or draw. So. Well, it's inside the 1.5 meters, so he's never going to support it. So what type of a time frame?
I don't.
Be able to come back to the next.
I don't think there's a big rush on it. You have occupancy, right? And are you guys living there? Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to build, have a home together, full time, my wife's a nurse, I'm a social worker, so
Are you living in the house right now?
that's our only place to stay, right?
Yeah. So I don't think there's like a time crunch. They're in the house. They have occupancy. We're working towards a solution.
Oh, so this is way past the gate.
Pretty sick, but
Okay. Well, if Scott's not worried about it,
I think we'll find a solution.
Yeah. if Scott's not losing any sleep over it, then you probably shouldn't either.
oh, it's just reassuring, appreciate that, thank you.
All right, so we'll leave it with staff then.
And one issue to permit. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll move the support.
Yeah, so recommendation that the Planning and Development Committee meeting recommend that the district of Sycamoose issue a development variance permit number 22-216 DVP to vary Sycamoose zoning bylaw number 101, 1993, section 701 2E8 setbacks for dwelling and well, over 5 dimensions less than 2 .09 a side property line single family dwelling. Word. Okay, you go, we got to vote in favor. Okay, so we planning development recommends go ahead. Thank you. Now you go home and have a nap. Yeah. All right, so now you want to have a discussion on item number B. We plan on having this again because we ruined the whole day starting at 1 o'clock. I'm trying to figure out why we're here.
Yeah, I think if we could, I think if we would have gone longer, you know, we would have been pushing into like get out of here a little bit early, or maybe Brian would have demanded lunch. If I had known Brian wasn't coming, maybe we could have started later, but no, if we want to talk about August 10th, I think we could go forward with it. We probably have enough going on that we can find some time to fill it. We can choose whatever time we want because there's no council meeting that day, so.
I'm okay. If we got something, you know, like even Grayson thought he would do a presentation fairly quick. But maybe that's the time. I don't know.
Well, if we're gonna have it, unfortunately for me, I like to be able to work in the field till the heat hits, which is about 11 o'clock. So if we're gonna have it, it would be 2, 3. But then it's happy hour you're interfering with.
I still gotta go to work after.
Well, if there's not much on the agenda, maybe closer to lunchtime, like 11 o'clock. Get it done then.
We'll look at the agenda and we'll see what it is, but yeah, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Are you fine with that, Deb?
Yeah, whatever works for you guys,
Maybe you'll be healthy by then.
possibly. Or dead.
August the 10th at 11 o'clock. So do we need to do,
You can do it at 1 or 2 if you want. Works too.
or
I'm
is 11?
flexible.
Let's stick with 11.
Okay,
So recommendation that the Planning Development Committee have a meeting on August the 10th at 11 a.m. All in favor? Yeah, carried. Thanks for ruining the only day this year we got off.
you can just vote it to ruin your own day.
All right, adjournment, recommendation that the Planning and Development Committee meeting for July 27th, 2022 be adjourned, the time being 10:30. All in favor?
Quick as one yet.
Yeah.
I could have picked another 1,000 garlic.
Send Steffi out to help you